Tonight on Talkback, we are going to talk to a veteran of the war in Iraq. What he's going to tell us is shocking. His views on the foreign policy of America and Britain are damning. Surely you yourselves will be able to make up your own mind about what you think about this. There's been a lot of bad press about the war in Iraq. When you look at what's going on there today, do you think that nations like America are justified in their occupation?
Well, I think if you look that nothing changed, did it? We went and it's more of a mess now than when we went in, and it doesn't seem like we've changed anything. What was the point of going in if it's now worse than it was when we started?
And that's what you feel, that the occupation's actually made it worse than it was before.
I mean, the people are, no power, no water, kids can't go to school anymore, whole villages destroyed.
But do you think America now, and its allies, do you think they now have a moral obligation to stay because they've created the mess, as you say? Do you think actually they need to keep their forces in Iraq?
Well, that's the question, isn't it? And it's, do we keep risking more of our own lives? It just becomes a never-ending cycle. We can't see how are we've been there for a long time, and is it getting better? Is all things changing?
Yeah. I'll just ask you a little bit about your own experience in Iraq. Were there times there when you were personally in fear for your own life?
Oh yeah, you're always in fear there. Even when you're sleeping on your base, there can be a mortar attack. Just driving to the airport, if you're going home on leave, your vehicle you're in can get blown up with a roadside bomb. You're just driving to the airport thinking you're going home, and friends just they survived their year there and didn't make it to the airport at any time. There's never any time where you're totally safe.
You, in that situation where you are scared and when you are in danger, are you clear on what's motivating you to be there personally?
Well, it comes down to it's the person next to you. You're there. It's what gets you through is the fact that you're looking out for the person next to you, for your buddy next to you, and he's looking out for you. And that's the big picture things aren't going to help overcome the fear. You just have to help look out for your buddy next to you.
When you finished your time in Iraq and you came back to America, what challenges did you face readjusting back to life in society?
Well, it's hard, like I said, after you can't just drive down the road without being tense when you're in Iraq, and now you come home and it's hard to let that stuff go. And any time in Iraq you hear a loud noise, right away you think it could be a mortar attack or another bomb attack, and you hear loud noises, you're back home, and everybody else just been going through their day-to-day life, and for them nothing's changed, and you come back after having been away, and it's hard to adjust.
Is the nature of things when you return that essentially you feel very lonely and isolated?
Well, you do, because it's the only people you can talk to that understand what you've done are other people that have been there with you. And when you come back and you spread out and you go back to your hometown, and people are sympathetic, but they can't understand what it is that you've been through.
Do you think that you yourself have actually suffered from post-traumatic stress disorder?
I think the hard thing about that is how to know. We come back and it's hard to know whether you do or not. Is it just the normal adjustment? Is it, I mean, obviously, yes, I have all sorts of problems. Hard time sleeping, hard time just hanging out with people and just chatting with them about the weather and the day-to-day things. And is it PTSD? I don't know.
What do you think? So do you think there's anything good at all that's come out of this invasion of Iraq?
I have a hard time finding the people that have been, and we've suffered. The people in Iraq have suffered. The region has suffered. maybe, optimistically, some point in the future, Iraq might get out of the mess. But until then, I don't see that happening.
In my job, you talk to many people in many different roles in life. Talking to veterans of warfare is always harrowing, and tonight was no different. What we see is a man who's gone off to war, and he's come back as somebody very different. What worries me most about this whole thing is I look at men like that, and I think, will they ever be able to rebuild their lives to something like it was before they went to Iraq?